Welcome back to day 4. How is your practice? How are you doing? I hope you've been making progress and you've really practiced what you did in lesson 3. Today, I'm going to dive into lesson 4. Like I promised, we're going to finish up with the remaining part of how to format your text, and then, if time allows, I'm going to introduce you to working with the object in MS Word. Now, what you have noticed by this time is that our lessons are estimately 1 hour to 30 minutes, right? And I want to keep within that range so that we are able to really make significant progress every single day. And I want you to be taking your time and do practice afterwards. Okay, what we are learning in each session, you're gonna need to take and create time, your own time outside during the session, and practice. Remember, repetition is the mother of skill. The more you practice something, the more you do something over and over and over again, the more you become a master at it. And I want you to really master the basics, how to operate your computer to do anything that you want to do. All right, with that said, let's dive into our trace session. Now, yesterday or in the previous session, depending on how you're taking these sessions, we learned quite a ton of things, a ton of formatting aspects of your text. Now, I want us to finish up that in this lesson. All right, and what we're gonna start with right now, I'm gonna show you something that we call Dropcap. All right, and this is something that you've probably seen in newspapers. It is where you pick a text and to make the first character of a given paragraph bigger than the rest of the characters. We call this one Dropcap. Now, you've probably seen it in newspapers and newsletters, whereby in a given column of a newspaper, the first character of the first paragraph of that column is very big compared to the rest of the characters. We call that one Dropcap. And I want to show you how we do it. So now, to do that, I'm going to remove this. You notice we've italicized our first paragraph here. So I'm going to remove this italicized. I want to remove the italics. By the way, quick demonstration of something here before we even do anything else. If I have highlighted my text, like the heading here, how do I remove the underlining? It's easy. Highlight the text. So let's speak like our title. You highlight the text and you come, and then you come again and click the icon for underline, and that will be removed. All right, click, it's removed. Same case, if I have this text and it's bold and I want to remove it, the boldness, you highlight the text, okay, and then you come here and click B. All right, and the bold is removed. Same case for italicizing. If I have, let's italize this name here, Eric. It's not italicized, let's make it italic. Let's remove the bold. Now it is italic, it's line D. How do I remove the italic formatting aspect? You just highlight it, you just come in, click again the icon for italize, and it's be gone. So that is how you remove either bolding aspects or italicizing aspect that you've applied on your text, or even underlining. Okay, now back to Dropcap. How do you create a Dropcap? Let's say this is my text, and I want to have this T bigger than the rest of the characters in this paragraph. So I'm gonna have to create a drop cap on the T. So how do you create a drop cap? It's very easy. First of all, you highlight the T. So I'm gonna click there and highlight the T. Right, or I can click at the beginning and drag my mouse pointer to highlight the T up to that point, just the T only, the character you want to drop, create a drop cap. And you can always create a drop cap at the first character, not the characters in the middle. So you highlight the T and then you go to, let's see, you go to insert. Good, you go to insert menu and then move along here and to come all the way up to drop cap. You click drop cap. Don't click this, just click this button down here. Don't click the icon itself. Click this small button here, click there, and then you have options: none, drop, in margin, all that, and then drop cap options. Go for drop cap options. Don't pick dropped. When you pick dropped, it will still create a drop cap for you, but you don't have control. So to have full control of how much you want to drop down, you go to drop cap options. Here we are. Now you can pick dropped here. Here's what happens. When I pick dropped, I can determine how many lines I want the T to drop down. If I have 3 here, the T is going to drop down covering the first, the second, and the third line, right? If I reduce this one to 2, the T is going to drop down covering the first line and the second line, right? And then I click OK. There you are. So notice now this T is dropping down covering the first line and the second line, all right, and not the third line. So again, you can determine how big or small you want the first character to be. Let's try with this one, the I, and this time around we're going to drop this I. We're going to drop it to cover 3 lines: first line, second line, third line. Our T covers 2 lines. Let's do the I. I click there and I highlight the I. Good. And then I go to insert menu. Then I come to drop. Here we are. I go to drop cap options. Here we are. I pick dropped, and then I make sure these lines are 3. It's going to drop down covering 3. Let's even do 4. I want to increase it using this button here. So the I is going to drop down covering 4 lines, and then I click OK, and there you are. How big is the high? Covering 4 lines: first line, second line, third, fourth. All right, that is how you create drop caps. Now let's drop our T down here, and it's going to be covering just 3 lines. So I highlight the T, I make sure I go to insert, then I go to drop, I go to drop cap options. Here we are. I click dropped, and I make sure it's 3 lines, and then I click OK, and there you go. All right, so the T is covering 3 lines. So you can determine how big or small you want the character to drop, and we call that a drop cap. You will find it in magazines. Pick any magazine, or pick newspapers, or pick any newsletters. You're going to notice that the first characters, normally they tend to make it bigger than the rest of the characters, and that is exactly how you do it. Now I want to show you something that's very important, because you're gonna need it every time you work in the Word document, and that is, if I make a change on my document and I want to reverse that change, how do I do it? Like now we have created these drops, but we want to get our text back to the way it was. What do you do? Rather than remove the drop character and try to type it again, you can use what we call an undo command. There are 2 commands. One is undo, which means you reverse what you had done. The other one is redo, meaning you do again what you've done previously. So we want to undo what you've already done. So where do you get that command? You come up here. This is what you call the undo command. All right, and this is what you call the redo command. And this one here is saving command. This is the one that you use to save your work. Before we get to saving, let's undo all these drop caps. All right, let's reverse the process back to where we were before we applied this feature called the drop cap. So I'm gonna come here and click undo. Every time you click, it moves a step back. So it has undone this T, which was drop cap. Let's do undo again. Undo. It has reversed this I, which was a drop cap. Let's do undo again. Undo. And it has undone the T. And now it has reversed the whole process. Now, if I want to redo what I have undone, I can use this redo. And it will redo the T. I can use the redo again. It will redo the I can use the redo again, and it will redo the T. All right, let's reverse it. Let's use undo. We don't need them. There you go. So that is how you do the drop cap. So if you're creating a newsletter, or if you are writing a column in a magazine, that is how you want to do it. Or if you want to create a drop cap for whatever document that you want to create for whichever reasons, that is how you do it, right? So you can pause this video and take a few minutes to practice that, right? Make sure you get it right, and then when you come back, we are going to continue, and I'm going to show you how to actually work with columns, right? How do you create a text whereby it's not just paragraph, it's columns? How to come up with those columns? We are also going to do something that we call text alignment. You will know what those are. So pause this video lesson, take a break, practice what you've learned, and then resume, and then you're going to pick from there. All right, I want to believe that you've taken your time to practice. Let's get to the next level in this video lesson. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how we do text alignment. All right, now what is text alignment? Alignment basically refers to the fact that you can align your text in your page however you want. You can have your text aligned on the left side of the page. You can have your text aligned on the right side of the page. You can have your text aligned on the center of the page. All right. So there are four text alignments. I want to show you how to use them. Let's take, for instance, this is our title, online computer training course, lesson 3, and I think we are lesson 4. So let's call this one lesson 4. All right, lesson 4. So now, let's say we want this heading exactly at the center of this page. As you can notice, the text is starting from the left. All right, but we want to position at the center of this page. So how do you do that alignment? It's easy. Number one, you highlight. We learned how to highlight. Click at the end of the heading or at the beginning. Hold down the left mouse button, then move your cursor toward the direction you want to highlight. All right, it's highlighted. So now you go to home. All right, and then you come here. These are what we are calling alignments. You can notice this is left alignment. Our text is aligned on the left. As you will notice, all the paragraphs and the lines of our text are starting or aligned on the left, but we can change that. Let's deal with the headline first. So how do you align this text headline at the center of your page? You come, we have left alignment, center alignment, right alignment, and what we call justify. Now, center alignment, you come to center alignment. By the way, what you notice is that if you move your mouse pointer over any of this, it will tell you what that is. Notice it's indicated for you center. Notice indicated for you align text to the right. Notice indicated for you align text to both the left and the right margins. Adding extra space between the words as necessary, right? You point at this one, it tells you align text to the left. Okay, so these are the commands that you use to make our alignment. So we want center alignment, so just come and click this, and there you go. So now notice that our heading is aligned at the center of our text. Easy. It's not hard, it's not complicated, nothing technical, right? Now let's pick our text here and let's align one of our text at the center. All right, let's pick the third paragraph, right? So let's highlight this third paragraph and let's align it at the center of the page. Let's see how that one will be different from the rest of the paragraphs. So select it, you make sure you are at home, and then you go to center. There you go. So what do you notice? The text is aligned at the center. It does not align on the left here. It does not align on the right here. It's aligned at the center of the page, right? Let's pick another text like this one, second paragraph, and let's align it on the right. So we highlight the paragraph and then we go to right alignment. There you go. So what do you notice? What you will notice is this. It will try to align this text on the right side. So the text will not be starting at the same point. Sorry, this one seems to be center alignment. All right, let me see. Good, yeah. So the text will not be aligned on the left side. It will be aligned here on the right side. Okay, let's pick another one like this one. Let's give it right alignment in order for you to see. Let's pick right. What do you notice? The text is aligned here on the right, but it's not aligned on the left. All right, that is how you do it. So this is center alignment, this and this are right alignment. Now let's pick the whole of this text. Let's give it right alignment. And there you go. Now you can see very clearly what right alignment means. The text is aligned on the right, not on the left. All right. So you can do text alignment if you want. For some reasons or the other, you're gonna need for certain documents that you'll be creating. You might need to have those texts aligned on the right within your page, and that is how you do it. Let's restore this one back to left alignment. So I'm going to highlight the first two paragraphs. There you go, and then I'm going to pick left. There you go. So they are now aligned on the left. These ones, they are aligned on the right. The title is aligned at the center. That's how you do it. Now, one final alignment, justify. Now what justify does is it will try to align the text both on the right and on the left, meaning it has to balance the spacing between the words to do its best to ensure that they are aligned both on the right or on the left. Now the changes are a little bit, they're kind of very tiny. You may not be able to see them because it will try to balance the whole thing. So let's highlight this text. Let's try to do it. We know this text is aligned on the right, but want to use justify. When you use justify, we expect it to align both on the left and on the right. Let's see. There you go. So what you notice is it will try to align the text here on the right, except for those lines that are too short that they cannot be pulled up to, sorry. It will align the text here on the right and on the left. All right, that is justify. And you try to align your paragraph on the left or on the right, except for those lines like this last line, you cannot pull it to this point. This last line here, you cannot pull it to this point, but the rest of the lines, you try to balance the spacing between the words and then it to align them on both left and right. So those are the four text alignments that you can make, right? Great. Now I want you to practice that. I want you to pause this video, take your time, practice that, and then when we come back, I'm going to show you how to work with what we call bullets. So far, we've been doing paragraphs. What if we want bullets? I'm going to explain to you what bullets are. I'm going to explain to you what numbering are, and then I'm going to show you how to do bullets and numbering, and that should be the final part of this session. We will not be able to tackle objects, I noticed that, and we will not be able to tackle paragraphs, I also noticed that. But in the next session, we're going to be tackling objects and we're going to be tackling paragraphs, and probably winding up. We actually, in the next video lesson, we're going to wind up completely with dealing with the text, and I'll introduce you to objects. Probably have 2 more lessons on object, then we'll be done with Microsoft Word package. Great. Take 1 minute or a few minutes, pause this video or rewind this video and practice what you've just learned, and I'll see you after a few minutes as we dive into the next section of this audio or this video lesson. Great, welcome. I want to believe that you practiced and you're able to work on Dropcaps and you're able to work on alignment. Now, let me introduce you to the final part of this lesson, and that is working with numbering and bullets. Now, first of all, what are they? It's not every time that you're going to need to come up with text in prose or in what you call paragraphs. There are times you're going to need to create a list of something. Okay, it could be cooking list. Let's just type okay, let's type something like let's say this. Let's create a list of things here for me to show how this one works. So let's say this is the packages, rather let's say this is what we cover in this online computer training course. All right, we want to make a list of what is in this online computer training course. When I proof this one, so I'm going to highlight it, and we are going to change the font. Let's give it to 14, and let's change the font type. Let's give it to Calibre. All right, and the 14 seems very big, so let's give it 12. Great. I'm wondering what's the size of this one. This is 14. This Calibre heading. All right, yeah. Now, so let's underline this one as our heading, and let's make it bold. All right, and before I even show you bullets, what if I want to change the entire text? Let's say you've typed a text like this one, and you want to change it from uppercase to lowercase. In other words, you want to play around with character cases. How do you do it? First of all, let me point out something. We have about 4 character cases. Let me explain them. Notice, I want you to go to home, which is where we are, and I want you to come right here, where we have this capital A, small a, and click there. What you're going to see there are what you call cases. All right, this ascendance case, this a lowercase, we know it. This is an uppercase, we know it. This is a capitalized each word case, which probably you know it, but you don't know what it's called. This toggle case. So I want to show you how to change cases without actually using the keyboard. If you've already written a text and you want to change its case, I want to show you how you can do that. First of all, this is uppercase. Okay, what we have here is uppercase. What if I want to change to sentence case? Now, sentence case basically means this. The first character is capital. The rest, they are not. They are in lowercase. So if I want to change this one to sentence case, all I need to do is I need to come and click sentence case. There you are. The T is capital, the rest is not. And we can fix these problems here. Training. Right. I want them in lowercase. Training. Right. So this is what we are calling sentence case, whereby the first character is uppercase, the rest are not. Okay. Now let's switch to a different case. I will highlight the text. Make sure you are at home. Then come here. Click there. Let's pick lowercase. You already know lowercase, but for the purposes of just practice, let's just pick lowercase and see what happens. And now notice everything is lowercase, including the first character, right? So if you've written a text and you want to change its case, you can highlight and pick any case that you want. Let's go back there again, right there, and let's pick uppercase. And the entire text becomes uppercase, all right? Let's go back there again, and let's pick capitalize each word case. Now, capitalize each word case, some programs may call it title case. It's the same. It's whereby the first character of every word in that sentence is uppercase. That's why we call it capitalize each word case. Some other Word document may call it title case. It's the same. So you click there, there you go. So what you notice, the T is capital, the I is capital, the W is capital. The starting character of each paragraph, or rather of each word in that given sentence, is uppercase. We call that one capitalize each word case, or you can call it title case, as other word programs might call it. All right. So let me highlight it again. And the last case is what you are calling toggle case. When I come back here, this is a toggle case. Now, what does toggle case do? This basically does the opposite of what was initially there, meaning it will get what was capital and turn it back to lowercase. What was lowercase, it will turn it back to uppercase. When I say capital, I'm referring to uppercase. So it will pick what was uppercase, make it lowercase. What was lowercase, make it uppercase. Let's see. Let's apply it. There you go. Great. You notice what was originally uppercase, it's now lowercase. And what was originally lowercase, it's now uppercase. Right. So once you have your text, it's already typed, and you want to change the cases, that is how you do it. You highlight the text. All right, you highlight the text, and then you make sure you go to home, and you come right here where we have this icon that has a capital A and a small a, or uppercase A and lowercase a. There's like a button there. You click that small button pointed downward, and then you pick any of these cases. All right. So now in this case, let's make this sentence case. I'm gonna click sentence case, and I'll read. This is what we cover in this online computer training course. Now, I want the online computer training course, since it's a name, I want it to have capitalize each word case. So I'm gonna click there. It just highlight the section I want to change its case like that, and then make sure you are at home menu. We come right here, and then we make it capitalize each word case, and there you are. So now we're going to put colons here, and colons are basically colons. Okay, let me pull out the keyboard and show you what colons are. So I'm going to click our online keyboard. Here it is. Let me push it up a little bit. There you are. I'm going to click here. Now, colons are these two dots here. All right. You put a colon at the end of a sentence if you want to make a list of something. All right. and we want to make a list of what we cover in this computer online training. The point here is I want to show you what lists are and how we use them and when we use them. So you write a sentence, and down below it you want to give a list of a number of things, or a bullet point for a number of things, just basically creating an item list. You put a colon at the end of that sentence before you come up with the list. So I'm gonna click at the end, and then we want these columns, but when we click here, what we got or what we get is semicolon, a dot and a comma, and you call this one semicolons. That is not what we are looking for, by the way. Semicolons, here's how you write semicolons. Let me just to show you semicolons. Okay, when you talk about semicolons, that's what we are referring to. When I say colons, let me show you colons, I mean that is how you write the term colons, right? So what we have here are semicolons, but we want colons. So how do we create colons? Let's delete these ones. I'm gonna click there that I'm going to use our online keyboard. I'll click delete. I'm deleting what's on the right. Good. So now how do you put colons? Like I said, you combine Shift E, hold down Shift key in your keyboard, and then you click the key that has the character that you want. You get the upper characters of that key. So I'm gonna click our Shift. I wanna use our online keyboard. You can use your own keyboard, the one that you are holding. So I'm gonna click Shift. Then I'll come here. Now we have colons. I'm holding down Shift, and I'll click there, and now we have colons and not semicolons. All right. Now that I have my colons, I can pull away this keyboard, and now we can continue. So I'm going to press again. Let me pull back the keyboard. I'm going to press enter to go into new line here to make my own list. So we click enter. Sorry, we didn't focus on where the cursor was. You have to make sure that the cursor is there before we click enter. We click enter, and we are on a new line. I'm gonna close this one. All right, now we want to make a list of what you are going to be covering in this course, and we want to number them: number 1, number 2, number 3. You can use Roman numbers if you want. You can use ABCD if you want. Any can do. So how do you get to that? In a new line, you make sure you are at home, and then you come here. This is where you get numbering. So click there, and you have all these different types of numbering. You decide which one you want to use. We want to use this one, so I'm going to click that one, and there you are. You get number 1, and then we can type here what you are going to cover. We cover Windows package, which is what we started with. Once you write Windows package, you now press enter on your keyboard to go to the next slide. Once you press enter, you get number 2. The numbering now starts to come automatically. Then you go to cover Microsoft Word. Sorry, I'm gonna click back there, press enter. We cover Microsoft Word. All right, then you press enter. Then you go to cover Microsoft Excel. You press enter. We go to cover Microsoft Access. Let's correct this. Microsoft, it's Microsoft Access, and then we go to cover Microsoft PowerPoint. Press enter. We go to cover Microsoft Publisher. There you go. So we have created a list of what you are going to be learning in this course, and that is how you create a list. Now, what if I want to change this list from this kind of numbering to a different type of numbering? All I need to do is highlight it. If I want to change the whole of it, just highlight my list like that. Then I got here to numbering. Then I pick a different type of numbering, like what? Like this one. And now I seem to have a problem. So let's reverse it. An easier way to do that. All right. First of all, this is how you do numbering. Now, how do you remove the numbering? We want to get rid of the numbering so we can create new numbering. So I can highlight to remove the numbering, highlight, okay, and then just click the numbering, deactivate it. Notice it's highlighted gold, it has a gold highlighting. Okay, it means it's active. To deactivate it, just click it, the numbering is gone, and now they are not in any numbering format. And now we can create a new numbering. All right, to create a new numbering, all I need to do is I just delete them and I go back to numbering. I want a different set of numbering. Let's say I want this. Okay, just click there and then just start typing. We have Windows package, which we covered. We have Microsoft, Now, sometimes you may get this set of issues and it comes to different Word programs. Something has to do with the settings, but the easiest way to resolve it is delete the whole of the numbering, get back to the beginning of your paragraph that didn't have numbering, press enter, and then you create a new numbering set. So you go to numbering, you pick this type of numbering, and then let's see Microsoft, or let's see Windows, Windows package. Good. Now what you notice is it's shifting the cursor to this point, which is not where we want it to be. So let's try to bring it back and see. And now we seem to have a problem. It's not able to do that. Now let me show you something now at this point, which I think is very, very critical. You notice this ruler here, the horizontal ruler. It has certain marks, like you can see this mark here. It's a pointer here, pointed downward. We call it first line indent. We have another one here, and we call it it's a hanging line indent. Okay, and then we have like a L here. You notice a thick L kind of a symbol here. This L determines where this cursor is, and mostly it gets activated when you're using bullets. So to make sure this cursor gets here, I have to click this L. So I'm going to click and hold down the left mouse button. You notice it will draw a straight line, or make a mark of a straight line, dotted straight line, moving downwards. Then I'm going to hold the left mouse button and I'm going to drag that L to where I want it to be, and I want it to start where the W is. Let's keep on moving it. Let me see. Let me move it there. Still not getting here. You have to get again this hanging indent here. You click it and then you drag it. When you drag it, you notice the other indent at the top is dragging. So what you do, you click the one at the top, you move it to align it to this one, okay, and then you click this bottom here, not the indent, but there's a character go at the bottom here. You click this one and then you try to move it to the beginning of that margin. You place it there. And then let's remove this indent and let's try now and see whether we'll get what you get. Sometimes you might get it, you might not get it. It's a little bit of a settings, but we don't want to delve spend a lot of time on that. Let's see what you get. Still have your mouse pointer there. Let's try to see whether we can get it back to where we want it to be. Okay, it's still not really getting to where we want it to be, but just remove that one and let's create a new one. I just click numbering to remove the numbering. Let's see if they can create a new one that will work. We click this square arrow here, you click it here, and then you click restart numbering. Alright, these are more of our settings, and for the purpose of learning, so we don't spend a lot of time here. Let's not dwell much on that. If we have time, we can come back to that later on. But basically, that is how you do bullets. You just come to the bullets here. You pick the bullets that you want. If you want A, B, C, D, you put A, you write Windows package, press enter. You have Microsoft Word, you press enter, you have Microsoft Excel, and then you continue. That is how you do bullets. Now, this kind of bullets, like this type of bullets, the 1, 2, 3, 4, the 1 to the brackets, the A, B, C, D, they don't normally have any of those challenges that we have come across with that have to do with the settings. The ones that will give you a little bit of a trouble with the settings, like the ones we have Romans here. Okay, they tend to shift or change the way the bullets are set. But if you're going to be working with, for the purposes of learning, you work with the one that has 1, 2, 3 with brackets, or ABCD, or ABCD without brackets, or this kind of Romans without brackets, then it will work well, fine. All right. So whatever I want to change this bullets to a different type of bullet, you can highlight the bullets if you've already typed. Then you come and click here and pick a different type of bullets, and then you have a different type of bullets, right? You come here, pick a different type of bullets, ABCD. Where do we have ABCD? Caps. There you are. So you can switch between certain bullets and the other bullets, or a different type of a bullet when you've already written your text. That is how you work with the bullets. The good thing is, once you enter the first bullet, you press enter, it gives you the next bullet, and then you continue. Same. Did I say bullets? Numbering. These are numbering. These are not bullets. All right. These are numbering. A, B, C, D, or Roman 1, 2, 3, 4, or Roman I. Whether you're using Romans or whether you're using numerical numbers, these are not bullets. These are numeric. Sorry, these are numbering. Okay, these are numbering. 1, 2, 3, 4, or Romans, or ABCD, whether they have brackets or not, these are what we are calling numbering. All right, so you use numbering when you want to create a list. Now, at times you don't use the numbering, you want to use bullets, or what you call bullet points. So where do you get bullet points? First of all, let's clear this. I highlight them, and you can just press delete on the keyboard and they'll be deleted. It's another way of deleting a text. You highlight the text, press delete, it will be deleted. All right. So now we have press enter, new line. If you want now numbering and not, sorry, if you want bullets and not numbering, remember numbering, you get them from here, right? Bullets, they are here. So you click here and you can pick any bullets that you want here. So let's say I want this kind of bullets, I just click it. Then I can say Windows package, and number 2 is Microsoft Word, and number 3 is Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Excel, and then you can continue with the list. What you notice is once you enter the first bullet, you press enter, you get the next bullet. All right. But before we now end up on this, what if you want to change the bullets? What if I want the first 3 bullets to be different from the other bullets? So I go into the next line, and what you notice is that the bullet is the same. But what if I want this bullet to look different? How do you do it? Once you go to a next line like this one, you go to the bullet and you click the bullet to deactivate them. So if I click, the bullet disappears, and the cursor shifts from here to the beginning of the paragraph. Then you go back to the bullet again and pick now a different bullet, like this one. And notice now the bullets have changed. Now you can type Microsoft Access, and then you have Microsoft Publisher. Okay, I got to another bullet. But if I want this other bullet to be different from the first 2, I can change it. I'll come here and deactivate bullets. The cursor will shift to the beginning. Let's correct this one, Microsoft. Press enter. So I go back, deactivate bullets, and the cursor will shift to the beginning of the paragraph. Then I'll go back to bullets again, and I can pick a different bullet. Let's pick something like this. There you go. Now I have a different bullet, and then I can have Microsoft PowerPoint. Let's correct this on Microsoft. So you can switch from one kind of a bullet to the other. All right, and the same thing happens with numbering. If I want to switch from bullets to numbering, I can still do the same. Right, so let's say if I press enter and I want now to switch to numbering, how do you do that? Go back to bullets, click to deactivate bullets. The cursor will shift to the beginning of the paragraph. Then go now to numbering. If you want numbering, you click numbering and you pick the numbering that you want. Let's say now I want ABCD, so I click A, and now we have shifted from bullets to letter A. And then I can say intro, I can say Microsoft Publisher. Press enter, get a different bullet, and I can say Microsoft Excel. All right, so at any given moment, at any given moment, you can switch from bullets to numbering to bullets. Okay, what you have here are numbering. Let me add one more numbering. Let's call this one Windows package. Great. So what you have here, this is numbering, and what you have at the top, those are bullets. So I want you to take your time and I want you to practice how to create bullets and numbering. Now notice at this point how you've really improved your document. We've learned how to do paragraphs. Now we've learned how to do bullets, and in the next lesson we're going to finish up on how to really manipulate your text or data, and then I will introduce you to objects. All right, so for now I want you to take your time and I want you to practice everything that we've covered in this lesson. Make sure you master how to do what we have done, and in the next lesson we are going to take things to the next level. So until then, practice. Remember, repetition Doing something over and over again is the mother of skill. And I want you to really build these skills so that you really feel competent, that when you get a computer you can do anything that you want to do. The key is repetition so that you can master the cues. So go ahead, master these skills, and I'll see you in the next lesson.